A thick rope stretched tight under the burning sun. The crowd watched, faces full of dust, judgment, and fear. At the center stood a young Apache woman, wrists bound, her dark eyes defiant even as her lips trembled. The sheriff's voice echoed, "By order of this town, she is to be punished for trespass and theft." But before the whip could fall, a voice broke through the silence. "Untie it," said a rancher from the back of the crowd. His tone was low, firm, but shaking not with fear, but conviction. Every head turned. The lawman stared. "I said untie it," he repeated, stepping forward, his boots stirring the dust. The crowd began to murmur. Some laughed. Others cursed. But he didn't care. Because at that moment, he wasn't just defying the town. He was defying the cruel world that said mercy had no place here. What began as a single act of defiance that day, became a journey that would change both their lives forever. The Old West wasn't a kind place. Men built fences around everything: their land, their pride, even their hearts. But Eli Carter, a weathered rancher who had lost too much to the harsh frontier, had started to see things differently. Since the day his wife died giving birth to a stillborn child, Eli had been living alone on his ranch, talking more to his horses than people. The world felt empty until that afternoon in Dry Creek Town, when he saw the Apache woman. She was young, maybe 20. Her hair was tangled, her dress torn, her wrists bound with coarse rope that bit into her skin. The sheriff called her a thief. The townsfolk wanted a show. But Eli saw something in her eyes: not guilt, not shame, but a fierce kind of silence. When he stepped forward and told them to untie her, the sheriff's jaw tightened. "You know who you're talking to, Carter?" Eli met his gaze. A man about to make a mistake. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Nobody spoke to the sheriff like that. But Eli didn't stop. He walked right up, pulled out his pocket knife, and cut through the rope himself. The Apache woman flinched, expecting pain. Instead, she felt the rope fall from her wrists, freedom she hadn't dared to imagine. The sheriff cursed, pointing a rifle. "You'll answer for this." "Then I'll answer," Eli said calmly, taking her by the arm and leading her away from the stunned crowd. They rode out of town under the watchful eyes of angry men, the sun blazing down on their backs. Eli didn't speak for miles. Neither did she. Finally, as the wind carried silence across the desert, she whispered in broken English, "Why, you help me." Eli looked straight ahead. "Because no one else would." That night, they stopped by a river. Eli gave her water, food, and space. He didn't ask questions. But he could see she was scared, not of him but of the world that had taught her not to trust kindness. She told him her name was Ayanna, which meant eternal blossom. She had been captured by bounty riders who accused her of stealing cattle. She hadn't. She was only searching for food after her tribe had been driven from their land. Eli listened, his jaw tightening. He knew what the railroad men were doing, pushing tribes away, burning their camps, branding them as thieves just for trying to survive. He had seen the injustice, but never dared to challenge it. Until now. That night, as Ayanna slept by the fire, Eli sat awake, staring at the flames. For the first time in years, he felt alive, not because of a fight, but because he'd done something that felt right. But he also knew what was coming. The sheriff wouldn't let it go. The town would turn against him. Yet, when he looked at Ayanna, peaceful for the first time, he realized something: peace was worth any price. By morning, the chase had begun. The sheriff and his men were already on their trail. Dust clouds rose behind the hills like angry ghosts.